Ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, Killer J, back with another video. Wanted to talk about Monster Hunter Rise. This game has not left my Nintendo Switch for quite a few days now. In fact, this has been the only game I've really played for the last couple of days. And I've experienced quite a bit of it, and I'm here to tell you whether or not it's worth your hard-earned money. Now, being a Monster Hunter fan, obviously, this is a return to home for me. But as you can see, this particular Monster Hunter, you get a lot more mobility. This little thing that you see is called the wire bug. And you can traverse the environment. You can do some special combos. It adds a whole nother layer to the entire game. It makes it feel quite a bit different from any other Monster Hunter. More mobile, makes you feel more agile. It is a breath of fresh air. And some of the things that was in Monster Hunter World, for instance, these turf battles, are made so much better. Because you can ride them with the wire bug. You can cause damage to your target. I mean, there are so many things you can do in this game. It is astounding. Absolutely fantastic. And as you can see right here, I'm about to take on this Rathalos. Now, this game has quite a bit of stuff to it. It has a single player, which is more or less just to get you acquainted to the actual game. Nothing real fancy as far as single players go. Your standard kill missions are basically what it accounts to. Now, multiplayer, on the other hand, is where this game really shines. After you finish the single player campaign, you move on to multiplayer. And the multiplayer is so much better than Monster Hunter World. I mean, it's so easy to get into a party with your friends, do hunts together. In fact, a majority of these shots are with friends. So it is so much better when you play with other people. And on top of that, you get harder difficulty missions when you start to rank up in the multiplayer. Stuff that you wouldn't normally get. For instance, better armor. You get better stuff to create new weapons with. And there's a huge variety of weapons. And I more or less kept with the greatsword the majority of my playthrough. And I switched to the bow. We had dual blades. But I have a hammer in the inventory, but I haven't really used it yet. But a good majority of the game is basically finding what works with you. What weapon really resonates with you. And that comes to a recommendation. If you choose to buy this game, take advantage of its weapon classes. Find the one that is the best weapon that you like. Now, there are so many different ways you can customize your weapon. For instance, I've actually got this creature's, which is Magnamalo. I actually have his sword and his bow. Variety is the spice of life. Is this game the most amazing game on the Nintendo Switch currently? I would have to say yes to that. This game is 100% worth your hard-earned money. The multiplayer is fluid, very little lag. Like, I don't know what Capcom did with this game, but even though you're stuck at 30 frames per second, it actually feels fantastic and fluid. Not quite as fluent as Monster Hunter World, but with all the things you could do that makes you feel more agile, it's so much better than Monster Hunter World. And for those PC players that are coming to play this game in Steam later on throughout the next couple of years, totally worth it to pick up and play. The last aspect, of course, is these stronghold missions where you basically set up turrets and you fight waves of enemies. Not quite the strongest part of the game, but if you have a couple of friends you can play with, it adds quite a bit of fun. Something to mix up the game a little bit. So, this is 100% a 10 out of 10 from me. And I will continue to play this game until I can't play it anymore. Or until they add more DLC, in which case I will play more. But as always, if you like what you see, let me know. subscribe and like the video. It really helps out a lot. And y'all have a great day and enjoy these clips.
Watch out for the impact!